Look at your hand right now. The skin, the nails, the way the knuckles fold when you make a fist. That hand is the result of 4 million years of relentless grinding change. And yet, to you, it just looks normal. It just looks human. But what if someone from the year 3025 looked at that same hand and saw something ancient, something almost unrecognizable to them? That question sounds like science fiction. The real answer is far stranger than anything Hollywood has imagined, because evolution never stopped. It is not a chapter in a textbook that ended when humans discovered fire or agriculture or antibiotics. It is happening right now, inside your cells, in the structure of your skull, in the bacteria living in your gut. The forces shaping your body are the same forces that turned a fish into a mammal. They have simply slowed down, or more accurately, shifted direction. And 1,000 years from now, those forces will have done their work. So what does that work look like? Start with your skull. You probably think of your skull as ancient, fixed, the most prehistoric part of you. But your skull is actually one of the fastest changing structures in recent human history. Anthropologist Timothy Bramage has spent decades studying how skull shape responds to diet, stress, and environment. What he found is that the human face has been shrinking for thousands of years. Your jaw is smaller than your great-great-grandmother's jaw. Your wisdom teeth, those painful, impacted molars that most people have to surgically remove, are vestigial remnants of a jaw that no longer needs them. In 1,000 years, researchers predict those teeth will simply stop developing at all. Your jaw will be smaller still. Your face, flatter and more vertical. The heavy brow ridges of your distant ancestors have already melted away over 200,000 years. That process is not done, and it is not only the face. Your skeleton overall is getting lighter. A 2015 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, led by Timothy Ryan at Penn State, showed that human bones have become significantly less dense and more graceful over the last 12,000 years. The shift from foraging to agriculture reduced the intense mechanical loading on bones that kept them thick and strong. In 1,000 years, if current trends hold, your descendants will have bones that look almost fragile by your standards. Lighter, more efficient, tuned for a body that does not spend its days carrying spears and hauling meat across a savanna. Now look beyond the skeleton. Look at what is happening inside. Your immune system is one of the most rapidly evolving systems in your body, and it is under pressure right now in ways it has never experienced before. Epidemiologist Sharon Moalem, in his research on extreme human survival, has documented how rare genetic mutations that once seemed like disadvantages can become survival advantages almost overnight. The Black Death killed 1/3 of Europe, but some people survived. Why? Because they carried a mutation in a gene called CCR5, a mutation that blocked the plague bacterium's ability to enter immune cells. That same mutation, it turned out, also provides resistance to HIV. In a crisis, the genome reshuffles. In 1,000 years, after untold exposure to new pathogens, to novel viruses, to the microbial landscape of a changed world, your descendants' immune systems will look nothing like yours. The genes that get passed on will be the ones that survived whatever came next. And then there is the greatest wildcard of all, technology. For most of human history, evolution was shaped by nature alone. Drought, predation, disease, random mutation. That is no longer entirely true. For the first time in 4 billion years of life on Earth, one species has gained the ability to edit its own genome. CRISPR-Cas9, developed by Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier, work that earned them the Nobel Prize in 2020, allows scientists to make targeted cuts in DNA with a precision that was unimaginable 20 years ago. What does that mean for 1,000 years from now? It means evolution may no longer be entirely accidental. Some of the changes in your descendants will be chosen, deliberately, by people who decided that a certain gene was worth keeping, or modifying, or removing altogether. This is not speculation. It is already beginning. But the changes will not all be chosen. Some will be the result of something much older and more familiar: natural selection, operating through the invisible machinery of reproduction. Geneticist Steve Jones, in his landmark research on modern human evolution, has argued that in developed countries, natural selection has weakened because almost everyone now survives to reproductive age. But weakened is not stopped. In regions of the world where environmental pressures remain intense, where disease load is high, where resources are scarce, selection is still operating at full force, and it is producing measurable differences in gene frequency within just a few generations. 1,000 years is 40 generations, 40 rounds of selection, 40 opportunities for certain traits to become more common and others to fade. So here is what the picture starts to look like. Your descendants will likely be taller, on average. The trend toward greater height has been documented across every industrialized population for the past 2 centuries, driven by better nutrition and healthcare. Some researchers estimate this trend will plateau. Others believe it will continue for as long as the nutritional conditions that drive it remain in place. They may also have larger eyes, not because of some mutation, but because of environment. If your descendants spend the next 1,000 years in artificially lit spaces, indoors, underground, in habitats that reduce their exposure to natural sunlight, selection may begin to favor larger pupils, more sensitive retinas, eyes tuned for lower light. This is not fantasy. It is what happened to every cave-dwelling species that traded open sky for enclosed darkness. Their skin color will have shifted and blended in ways that are difficult to predict, but easy to understand in principle. As global migration has accelerated, the genetic isolation that once produced distinct regional populations has begun to dissolve. In 1,000 years, if that mixing continues, many of the stark differences in pigmentation that once separated populations will have merged into something far more continuous. Not uniform, but blended, and their brains. This is where things get complicated. The human brain has not grown significantly in size for the past 200,000 years, but it has rewired. It has reorganized. Neuroscientist Sarah Jane Blakemore, whose research focuses on the adolescent brain, has shown that the brain continues to change in response to experience in ways that were previously thought impossible. Extended use of new cognitive environments, digital interfaces, virtual reality, artificial intelligence will not rewrite the genome in 1,000 years, but it will produce selective pressure. The brains that integrate most effectively with new technology will belong to the people who thrive. And the people who thrive are the people whose genes get passed on. 1,000 years is not enough to grow a new lobe, but it may be enough to shift which neural architectures are most common. None of this is destiny. Evolution does not move in a straight line. A pandemic, a war, a volcanic winter, a breakthrough in genetic medicine, any of these could redirect everything. The future of the human body is not written yet. It is being written right now in every birth and death, in every environment humans inhabit, in every molecule of DNA that gets passed from parent to child. You are not the finished product of evolution. You are a draft, a snapshot, a single frame in a story that has been running for 4 million years and shows no sign of stopping. That hand you looked at the start of this video, the skin, the nails, the knuckles, is not what a human hand always looked like. And it is not what a human hand will always look like. 1,000 years from now, a child will hold up their hand. They will look at it. They will think, this is normal. This is just human. And they will have no idea how strange it would look to you. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.